Smokey the Pomeranian has come into Daniela's dog's Porthlevin for her full groom. Going to start with a deep cleanse and massage to really get that fur clean. It gives me a chance to feel if there's any lumps or bumps on her skin, and it also gives Smokey a chance to have a nice relax and have a cheeky massage. Now for the rinse. Going to thoroughly get all of that soap out. Then I'm going to start by putting the gentle dryer on her, which is just starting to sort of touch the fur with the warm air. And then I'm going to slowly brush out each section bit by bit, because I need to take all of that fur that started to entwine, that started to tangle. If it's left, it will eventually turn into mat and need cutting out. But we're just borderlining that tangle stroke before we get to mat area at the moment. But you need to get down to skin level when you are brushing your dogs correctly. A lot of people tend to just brush the top layer and don't get right to the root at skin level, and then the fur is not brushed properly, and then the tangles turns to mat, and then it's too late to brush it and you need to cut it out. But at this stage we can still get away with slowly but surely going round and brushing through all the tangles and taking away all that loose fur that's got trapped into the base of the skin. And see, that's coming out there, so it takes quite a while to do. 20 minutes later, I've done one area of the back, and I'm just making sure that I'm going to section off and part the fur and comb it in all directions, making sure that I can glide my comb right through the fur from the base skin level right through to the top to make sure that it's been thoroughly done. And I will still be taking loose fur out as I'm doing that, with all the fur that's trapped and entwined, that's starting to tangle, that needs removing out, so you get a nice smooth brush stroke. Then if you're not happy with metal, you can use a pet teaser, which is a non-metal alternative. So the bristles are strong enough to glide through the fur, and they're flexible with their patented technology, so they glide through on their own. Just go slowly. Make sure you put the fur in the bristles. See there where I've turned it upside down so you can see. Make sure you're actually gliding the fur through the bristles. If you just stroke the dog like this, you're not actually brushing the dog. You need to make sure that that fur grips into the brush before you glide it, so you're actually brushing the dog. And that's that technique that you need to use with that. A lot of people don't use this brush correctly, where they just glide over the top. So just make sure that fur's gripping in. Go really slowly and gently, let the brush do the work, and then just glide through at skin level. Because it's non-metal, you can't pierce or scratch the skin. It doesn't matter which direction you go in, and you'll feel much more comfortable at home brushing your dog with one of these non-metal alternative brushes if you're not confident at going down to skin level. Keep your hand nice and relaxed. Make nice slow movements. I'm going a bit faster because I know what I'm doing, but keep it slow. Make sure that you've gone through thoroughly by checking your work with your comb. The comb will now just glide straight through the fur, because the pet teaser did the work for you. See there, I'm just giving you a demo of how to slide that along the skin level. So you want to make sure that you're not using a sharp pointed edge, so you can't actually harm the dog. Now we go to the leg, which you can see is more bulky. I'm trying to part the fur, but you can see it's quite clumpy under there. This is borderline in needing scissors, because it's a little bit too clumpy. You can see the difference between where I've brushed there and what's left the brush here. So this is going to take quite a long time to do. 25 minutes later, I'm coming back and I'm still working through that butt area there. You can see what's come out in the comb there as I've been gently brushing through, parting the different fur. That's what's come out of one butt cheek, and that was about to turn into mat and need cutting or shaving out, which we don't really want to be doing on Pomeranians because they're not meant to be cut. So that's why you need to come for your regular grooming to avoid the build-up. Come all around to the dog, Make sure that you're getting into those areas that chafe with harnesses, that typical ring around where the chest area is, and especially all behind the ears, they get a lot of build up with the tangles. Just make sure you're going nice and gentle and just keep going through the fur, staying patient until you're gliding through at skin level all over the dog. It takes a long time. It took me an hour and a half to get through Smokey, and bearing in mind I've been doing this for 17 years, so it's going to take you a long time to do. If you don't want to be doing this at home yourself, what you need to be doing is booking your dog in for more regular grooms with your groomer, say every 4 weeks, and then you won't have this massive build up. And this one isn't actually that bad in comparison to some that come in. This is actually a relatively good one. So this is a tricky area and often can need shaving out when it's at a groomer's because it's just been left a little bit too long. But thankfully on Smokey, I can still get through the behind ear area and brush it through thoroughly, so she won't need any cutting or shaving out behind her ears. It always looks a bit tuggy on camera, I've noticed when I've watched back. I'm not actually tugging that hard. Make sure you don't tug the dog too hard when you're pulling. I don't know why the camera picks that up like I'm tugging when I'm not. You can see what's coming out there in the brush. You've got to clear your brush and go again. And this is what I've got around the chest area off Smokey. And now we have a completely thoroughly brushed through Smokey, and I can use the main dryer on her to thoroughly dry her. Look at that beautiful soft silky fur. If we tried to dry this too soon with the main dryer, we would have dried in the mats. Here's the finished product. One silky, cute, smelling, gorgeous Smokey.
Did you enjoy that? You did. You did. I enjoyed it too. I did. Did you enjoy that? You did.